Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network, along with Tim Smith and Rick Keaton. I'm Ben Garrett. Thank you for being with us as we are live from the C. Michael Lay Technology Center in Hellenwood, and we're joined now by our First National Bank Player of the Game, Ben Gilbert. He's a sophomore, and our Trophy Masters Lineman of the Game, Eli Jordan Sexton. He's a freshman, and guys, for the first time, at least in the last couple of seasons, for the first time, our 4 game superlatives, our First National Bank Players of the Game, and our Trophy Masters Lineman of the Game, all freshmen or sophomores. So pretty cool. And Ben Gilbert, you've been having a heck of a season on the defensive side of the football. And I don't know, when I sat down and talked to Coach May and the rest of the Oneida coaches and Mark Martin at the first of the season, and they're talking about all these different names, and certainly your name came up. But I don't remember them saying this is going to be the guy that's going to have a breakout year for us. But as a sophomore, that is exactly what you've done so far early in the season. So congratulations on a great start to the season. And, Tim, I'll just let you jump in and take it.
Well, and I mean, Eli, I think if you can come out of nowhere and just play a great game, I think that's kind of what happened. I don't think we were expecting Eli to be here tonight either, but just your play against Eagleton and the force you played with and the disruption you were in the backfield on Thursday night, it was a big deal on a big defensive night when Oneida needed it. So I'm going to start with Ben. And Ben, so you play some offensive snaps, you play some defensive snaps, but our usual formations don't include a fullback a lot, right?
Sure.
So you're getting more time on the defensive side of the football now. Is there one side you prefer over the other one?
Defense,
It
definitely.
is. Is it just because you're playing it more, or?
I just like it better. I'm not an offensive guy at all.
Okay.
Just never. I don't know. You can Coach May might even tell you that I'm not much of an offensive guy. Definitely defense.
But you are the starting fullback.
Sure.
Yeah. So now, were you in on the play on 4th and 1 when? Okay, and so you were blocking, and Jesse gets the glory for that one, right? But here you're sitting here, right?
Yes,
Jesse's probably upset about that. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm sure we'll see him before the year's over. Talk about the offense. You had the 28 points in the first half against Rockwood, and then things kind of went silent for a while. And then you had a couple of touchdowns in the first half this week, and then it's another kind of miss in the 2 quarters. What do you feel like is the misfire for the offense right now?
Definitely a run game. We're just missing blocking assignments. I mean, that's all it is. We're really young, so I think that comes with it. But if we can get our blocking assignments this week, I think the running game will definitely benefit us because we need to get that going. So.
Okay. So Eli, are you both sides of the football too? Just defense?
Just defense.
All right. So do you like just focusing on the one right now?
Yes, sir.
And I think probably someday you'll be both sides of the football. Usually that's how this works out. But you're playing a defensive tackle right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So who's your defensive line coach?
Actually, we have 3: Coach Creighton, May, Coach West, and then Coach Martin.
All right. And what are some of the things that they have been telling you that you're executing on, that you're doing, that's the reason they're putting you on the field? What are you doing that they've been saying you need to do this and you're doing it?
I'm just doing like brute force to the players, so to get to the backfield pretty easily.
Yeah, just driving people backward. I remember seeing that quite a few times there on Thursday night. So is that something? Did you play much in the first game?
No, sir.
So was this past game the most playing time you've had?
Yes, sir.
And probably, I think you've played your way to a lot more too, right? So,
yes, sir.
was there a particular player on their line that you seemed to have the number of, or was it different guys you were manhandling there?
It was mostly 55 or like 52 on there.
Okay. Was that one of the click 55? Do you remember? You probably didn't ask his name. You were just busy putting him on the ground.
I think
so
it was.
It was it?
Yeah.
I mean that. So now two guys on their line that they talked a lot about were Tyson Click and his brother, and I think Tyson was 55. So that's a pretty significant job to be able to handle him, because I think he was actually thrown out of their first game, didn't get to play the second game, and so but he was a big disruptor there the other night. So Ben, I know one of the things that you did defensively on Thursday that Mark and John have been talking about, want to see getting your hands up in the passing lane, and you deflected a pass. Is that something that you just had the opportunity to? You're always trying to do that, or is it certain times? What's that like?
They were RPOs, so they pull their guard, and you just kind of the quarterback would look there every time. So you eventually just saw it and picked up on it, but No, keeping the arms up hasn't been something to think of. But, I guess I just basketball instincts or something, just got my hands out there. I don't know.
Yeah, just like Coach King always probably saying, keep your hands up because you never know, good things can happen. So you guys, your coaches have you reading keys each week on what's going on? Is that tough to follow? I mean, thinking and playing and, to me, it's that combination. Has it become an instinct yet? Are you still having to think about it or are you just doing it?
Starting to think about it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an instinct yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, 3 games in, right? So I bet you it does become an instinct before long, especially with the way you've been playing. So you've got an extra day this week, but we know this week those 3 games were important, but being this week it's going to be a region game. Talk about the importance. You're a sophomore. You've seen region before, and talk about the importance and the difference, the elevation of the level of a region game.
It just more significance because I think we're in a pretty good region. So every region game matters, every win matters, whether it's region or not. Coach May talks about, I believe it was 2 years ago, there's a 3-way tie. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they had to just look at the records. So every win matters, whether it's region game or not. So that's why I look at it. But definitely it's a region game. You got to focus up more.
Eli, do you feel like this week's a little bit more intense coming in? How are you going to approach that? What are you going to have to do? We know what you did well. What's something you don't feel like you did as well that you need to improve on?
I need to improve, like, when I go through the line, I need to, like, stop where the quarterback is from going upfield.
Okay. So
and read my keys better.
Got to contain?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, you played middle school last year?
Yes, sir.
So you came from a pretty big success rate there in middle school playing for Coach Terry. What was that like?
It was nothing like high school.
Nothing like high school. What's the biggest difference?
Well, they're just weaker linemen, and then when you go to high school, you still see the same people from Rockwood or Cofield from middle school.
So now tell me, who's one of the upperclassmen that has been kind to you? I know it used to be a lot of times a freshman would come in and some of the upperclassmen, they didn't treat freshmen too well. Who's somebody that's been good to you?
Probably Ben.
Ben has?
He's not an upperclassman, is he?
He's an older player.
He's one class up, so it makes him an upperclassman.
Ben, was there somebody that made you feel comfortable?
Elijah Phillips played linebacker last year. Mm-hmm. I like watching him. Sometimes I still go back and watch film, just watch what he does. I did that this offseason, just watch what he did, try to mimic some of that. He was really, really good at All-State.
Yeah. It's nice to have somebody that you can rely on that's watching out for you, right? It builds that team camaraderie, and that's a good thing. So what are you expecting this week, Eli? What do you think's going to be the situation? It's a big game. It's at home. It's homecoming, right? I know Coach May's worried everybody's going to get distracted about homecoming. You guys weren't in school today. You're not in school tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you're really only going to have 3 days of school and then this game on Friday night. Do you feel like it's going to be a distraction for you?
Probably not.
Yep. Not that into it? The homecoming part of it?
Not really.
Just ready for football?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Ben, what do you think?
No, I'll be focused on the game. I want to win so bad. I don't really care about the other stuff. I'll be waiting until 7:30. That's all I'll be thinking about all day.
All right. Well, now it's a pretty important game. I mean, you look at the region that we're in, and Wartburg. I mean, I don't want to say it's a must-win, but it's if you aren't able to get Wartburg, things are going to be really dicey as far as being able to make the playoffs. So, have you looked at film? Do you know what's the threat for Wartburg?
They got a big line, really good quarterback. He can make plays like Eagleton's quarterback could. He can scramble whenever he needs to. And they got a good wide receiver. I believe number 6, Queenie, played him in basketball too. Yeah. He's really well.
Landon.
Yeah. So that's probably the 3 things you just got to look out for. They're pretty big.
All right, Eli. What do you feel like is going to be your main focus then on Friday? Is it just the containment of that quarterback?
Yes, sir.
You're going to keep him contained. We're going to watch you. Now, you're wearing 65, right? And I don't know if you watched the replay or not, but one of our one of the guys that does the games with me. It's not somebody important, but it's Mark Matthews. He was all bragging about you wearing 65. Do you know why that is?
Why?
That's what he used to wear. Yeah. So,
but that was a long time ago.
That was like back in the late 80s.
You make 65 look a lot better than
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. This is a much more dominant looking 65. Yeah, you're doing great. So, but I think that really excites him to see his old number because I know it does because he mentioned it was the first thing he said. Yeah, this looks good in that 65. So, but it's really exciting to see you guys, you young guys, making it here tonight. And becoming leaders on this team and helping because you're going to have to. Because we talked about the line, how young it is and how important it is. And so I think you all have grown up and improved each week in the things that you do, and you'll need it this week against Wartburg too. What about just each one of you, just one more question. What's a coach that gets really angry and what really makes them angry? Who's one? Eli?
Coach West.
Coach West, Sean West?
Yes,
yep.
Sir.
What is it, when you're not on the bus on time? Or
it's just like just like when you're like lining down incorrectly or when like doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Just screams.
Is he scary?
No, not really.
Okay, good. We won't. Good. I don't want him to be scary, but he gets you in position, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who is it, Ben?
Definitely Coach Martin. Not reading keys. That's one thing that'll get him going.
Yeah, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's good. You guys got any questions before we?
I've enjoyed it. I wish you all very best of luck this week.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, Ben Gilbert, our first National Bank Player of the game. And by the way,
yes.
When Ben Gilbert was about that tall,
yeah,
I don't remember what grade that was, but
well, that tall.
That tall.
That was sort
if
of
you're going from the ground or from the
there.
table.
Let's don't lose sight of what I'm talking about here. Okay, stop. His dad and I coach. Okay, I use the word coaching loosely, but we coached his junior pro basketball team. So as Ben Gilbert becomes a high school athlete, I just want you to remember, Tim, while you're calling his games, that I taught him everything that he knows. Okay. Okay.
Sure. Yes.
Ben Gilbert, our first National Bank Player of the game. Eli Jordan Sexton, our Trophy Masters lineman of the game. Guys, congratulations on a big game last week, and hopefully we keep it rolling this week.
Now I think we got a shirt here for Eli too.
Yes, we do.
So we need to show that shirt off here in a minute.
Yeah, and as player of the game, Ben, you will have something from First National Bank a little bit later on as well. All right, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our Scott High superlatives from Friday night's game against Clinton right after this.